Call the meeting to order. We'll start with a moment of silence followed by the pledge, please. Yeah. Hi.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment on agenda items only. Ms. Storman.
Regarding agenda item number 8, information and technology services, on behalf of various members of the GIS, I would like to respectfully request the commissioners table the vote on the contract with Michael Baker International for $25,000 until all members of the committee have had an opportunity to review the contract and determine how it relates to each individual user and to determine if it is actually necessary to pay for these services, some of which are already provided by county employees.
Thank you.
May I also comment?
Please.
I'm a GIS analyst, and I think we're very overdue for having an upgrade to ArcGIS Pro. It really puts us behind the other counties, so I do think this is a good investment.
Thank you.
May I?
Have I ever said no to you, Clancy?
We in the IT department are responsible for accounts and permissions and cybersecurity to protect the county network. I requested this contract because our department is not trained enough in the support of this particular system. So I asked an expert, the expert who works for Michael Baker, used to be our account manager at Esri. And he knows our environment, he knows most of the participants and has years of experience with all of us, as well as our how we're configured here, like who does what work. So they have personal knowledge of our use of the system and where we would like to go with it. I asked if we could have a contract with them that would provide different services. So it's a contract that has, it's like a cafeteria plan where if I say the IT department needs help in upgrading to the next server version, can we get together with the governance committee, which includes all the departments who use the system, as well as our current Esri account manager and this person who was previously our account manager who now works for Michael Baker. Let's all get together and talk about how the new system should look, and we will use our professional services not only to help us design the system the way we all need it to be, but they will also then train the IT department in how to set up the roles and responsibilities, because it's a different type of system administration than our current system. So that is one of the projects we are looking to have them help us with, and then help us all as a committee plan the path forward with, because we are so far behind for some of our users in where we want to go. And this also impacts the 911 center and their data. So I just want to explain that was the reason for the request.
And if I'm having heard what you said, when you say it's a cafeteria style kind of contract, in other words, if we need to build a new server out, money could be allocated from that $25,000 for that purpose.
Correct.
If we need training or education for something, 25,000 of that 25,000, X amount of dollars can be moved towards that.
That is correct.
So if we had the $25,000 for this contract, then the governance committee could decide or say what is the best spent monies for this, correct?
Correct. Also, if we only spend 15,000, then we only pay 15,000. The rest of it will be credited back to the county.
Very good, thank you.
How long is the contract?
1 year. 1 year.
One year at a time.
Very good. Thank you. Penn State Extension up. Ah, we've all been waiting for Jennifer.
Good morning, commissioners and staff and residents. My name is Jennifer Mercero. I'm with Penn State Extension. I have 4 quick webinars to update you on that I think are relevant and important during this time, and then I'll hand it over to Nicole. The first webinar is on data centers and water resources. It's November 19th from noon until 1, and this is a free webinar, and you must pre-register to get the link. The next one is Your Money Matters. Starts November 10th. It's a way to explore goal setting, informed decision making, money values, and habits. This runs for 10 weeks on Mondays, and the cost is $10. The third one is Prevention Starts With Us, How Adults Can Make a Difference. This webinar, you'll learn how to talk with youth about substance use and explore proven prevention strategies making a difference in Pennsylvania schools. This is also a free webinar. And the final one is learn about new research in healthy aging and strategies for aging well during this informative virtual event. It's a free webinar, but registration is required as space is limited. And I picked these 4 out of all of them we have because I think these are the most relevant during this time that will help your residents. You can visit our Facebook page, Penn State Extension of Monroe County, as well as extension.psu.edu to find these programs and more. And thank you again for your time. And I'd like to introduce you to our extension educator for food safety and quality, health and wellness, Nicole McGeehan. She'll give you an update on her quarter. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you all for letting me come here to talk a little bit about the programming that I'm providing here in Monroe County and also throughout the state. My area of expertise is food safety and quality and health and wellness. So that's the programs that I usually focus on. We've really struggled with recruitment of individuals for our in-person classes, like ever since COVID. I know it's already been 5 years since everything shut down for a while, but we're still struggling to kind of rebuild since then. So we found during that time that people really relied on online education. So I've worked with several of my coworkers to develop one of the big programs that I present is ServSafe. And if you've ever eaten out, you've seen the certificate when you walk in because it's required by the FDA food code that somebody is a food protection manager for each establishment. And during the pandemic, we found out that it was against copyright infringement for us to teach the ServSafe curriculum online. So we went back to the food code and we developed a brand new curriculum called the Virtual Food Safety Managers course. And our goal is to train people in food safety so that they can in turn take the ServSafe exam and pass the ServSafe exam. We did this as part of a grant that we received. It was called the Science to Practice grant. And through that, we compared the in-person classes versus the virtual classes. And we found that people really enjoyed the virtual learning environment. They enjoyed the flexibility of it. And the fact that they're not just like watching a webinar that was already pre-recorded. There are live educators teaching it and answering questions and giving feedback and sharing their stories. So you're getting the benefit of what you would get in an in-person class, but the convenience of it being online. Some feedback that we received is that it's very affordable, convenient, and user-friendly, and that it was a great experience. Appreciate the ability to take this online with live instruction. And I just wanted to like really emphasize that ServSafe we're not the only people who offer it. There are many other companies that offer the ServSafe certification training, but our focus, since we're through Penn State, is education. We're not just like teaching people just to pass the exam. We want them actually to keep food safe and to keep our public healthy by practicing good food safety practices. So that's really what we focus on in the class. So it's more than just passing the exam. And we're not allowed to guarantee any success rates, but we do have very high success rates because we're actually educating, not just teaching to the exam. In addition to that work, and that's taken up a lot of my time over the past couple of years because it was a much bigger project than we first realized when we started. I do some home food preservation classes, and this is become very popular in recent years where people are, it's like our great grandmas and our grandmas, they used to preserve foods, and it's kind of coming back around again. It's kind of becoming like new and trendy. And with food insecurity, people really are trying to learn how to stretch their food dollars. So preserving food can do that. So I do also offer home food preservation classes. We talk about freezing food, drying food, and also canning food. And we do those in person. And then also we have a webinar series for that. And with the webinar series, what makes us a little bit different is we also do a live demonstration during the webinar where we're actually showing people how to do what we're teaching. And then we're there live, obviously, to answer any questions or get any feedback. Another class I wanted to talk about, and I think that this is a big issue because here in Pennsylvania, there's not much regulation over nonprofit organizations who are preparing food for the public. So another class that we teach is called Cooking for Crowds, a volunteer's guide to food safety. And this class is affordable. It's $75 per organization, and as many people from the organization as want can come to it. So it's just a flat fee. With that fee, you get a manual, a thermometer, some signs that you can hang up around the establishment, and some other information, as well as the class for your organization. And we recommend this for churches, fire halls, any nonprofit that is preparing food for the public, but they don't fall into a retail establishment, so they don't have the same regulations. So it's really important for them to learn how to serve food safely, because a lot of outbreaks are from, unfortunately, nonprofit organizations because there's not that regulation on food safety when it comes to that, the same as a retail. I just wanted to end with our health and wellness team, our food and health team, sorry. We have a Facebook page. It's called Penn State Extension Food and Health, and we share information, anything related to food and health for our communities. And we also have an Instagram. It's at PSU Extension Food, and I help to oversee those social media platforms as well. Does anybody have any questions for me?
So can I sign Attorney Huffman up for when she makes Thanksgiving dinner for the Huffman family? Thank you very much.
Very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
Moving on, old business. Approve the minutes of the October 15th, 2025 Commissioners Meeting. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next, amend motion 2025-278 dated 10/1/2025 to reflect revised memorandum of understanding between Monroe County Victim Services and Women's Resources of Monroe County doing business as Safe Monroe. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. Ratify October 21st, 2025, opening of the following bids for goods and services for 2026. The bailiffs, we have the correctional officers and deputy sheriff's uniforms, Moritz Embroidery. No bid security was received. Star Uniform, we see that with a 10% bond. Fuel Oil, we have Liberty Discount Fuel and Stiff Oil. Inmate Uniforms and Supplies. Angelina's Collections and Bob Barker. Janitorial supplies, we have Staples Contract and Commercial, Pyramid School Products, WB Mason, PA Paper and Supply, Central Poly Bag, Brighter Days and Nights, Inc., Imperial Bag and Paper Company, United Sales USA Corp., and Office Basics. Office Supplies and Toner, WB Mason, Office Basics, Staples Contract, GCS Imaging, and Innovative Printing Systems. Propane, we have options with Modern Gas and Heller Gas, and snow removal. The Public Safety Center, we have Primrose Landscaping, E.F. Possinger, and Strausser's Nature's Helpers. And for the Administrative Center, we have Primrose, E.F. Possinger, and Strausser's Nature's Helpers. And the former jail lot, which is across the street on Monroe Street, Primrose Landscaping, E.F. Possinger, and Strausser's Nature's Health. Is there a motion to accept or ratify, please?
So moved. Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. Proclamations and certificates. Pocono Mountain Volunteer Fire Departments celebrated their 100th anniversary, and Eric Hayes is an Eagle Scout. Can I please get a motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. New business, personnel. We have the agenda and approve and ratify requests for additional work hours in the Sheriff's Department, the Commissioner's Department, and the Commissioner's Office for pay period 11/16/2025 for administrative staff. And we also have electronic financial transactions with vouchers payable, gross payroll, and healthcare benefits. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Travel authorizations, approve and ratify, please. Approve travel requests in the Area Agency on Aging, the Commissioner's Office, Conservation District, Emergency Services, Juvenile Probation, Vector Control, and Voter Registration. Is there a motion, please?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. Reappoint the following in the Area Department of Aging to the Advisory Council for a new term expiring 9/13/2028. We have Patricia Fritz and Barbara Malicao. Migliaccio. We'll go with that. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. In the Commissioner's Office, we have approved the budget adjustment report dated 11/5/2025 for $70,736. We have the Adult Supervisory Fund and Probation for $32,000 for cameras. Corrections is moving money from maintenance supplies to minor equipment to purchase a scanner. Emergency Management is moving monies from conference meetings and repairs and maintenance to program expenses, trash removal and other expenses, and general repairs and maintenance services. We have Human Resources moving money to cover from advertising to cover association dues. CSBG is moving money that was unspent from Safe Monroe, $18,219, to Catholic Social Services for $1,640. Pocono Services for Families and Children, $8,563. PATH, $5,466. And Pleasant Valley Ecumenical Pantry, $2,550. Human Services grants, moving money, $640 to cover advertising from contract services. The Law Library and Courts, we're moving money to purchase 2 radios in case of emergencies. And the sewage treatment plant, yes, the county does have a sewage treatment plant. We're moving $3,700 from small tools and equipment to electricity. Tax assessment is moving $910 to cover the annual handbook subscription. And tax claim is moving $1,000 from constable fees, from constable fees to postage for $1,000, totaling $70,736. Next, to ratify the budget adjustment report dated 11/5/2025, totaling $343,000. Children and youth is $123,000 of that. They're moving monies around to cover costs for independent living, residential group home, again, independent living and fosters family services. And also in the county, picking money from the county contingency for tax collectors for $20,000 to cover current and anticipated refunds. and $200,000 from the general to cover expenses in the future expenses from the opioid settlement funds, totaling $343,000. Next, we're going to ratify and authorize the chief clerk to advertise the following: the 2026 meeting dates and holiday schedule, the 2026 budget presentation and adoption dates, and the community service block grant requests for funding proposals application for the 2026 fiscal year, and reschedule the prison board of inspectors meeting of 11/18/2025. Approve use of the courthouse square by Go Collaborative for tree lighting to be held on November 28th from 5:30 to 7:30. Accept the proposal from Walker Consultants to provide professional consulting services for repairs from the county parking deck from the term of 1/1/2026 to 12/31/2026 in the amount of $88,155. Ratify the following opioid grants and opioid settlement funds consistent with the use allowed under the opioid settlement agreement, Exhibit E, for $10,000 to Guardian Angel Recovery House and $650 to the Letty Enforcement Treatment Initiative for participant TJ. Approved proposal from Richard Pierce Building for the amount of $9,100 to repair slate on the barn roof at the Monroe County Correctional Facility. And again, approve proposal from Richard Pierce to install Dutch lap siding where appropriate and plywood in other spots for $12,500. That was the lowest of 3 bids. And award the following contract bids for the 2026 county goods and services: correctional officers uniforms to Star Uniform, deputy sheriff uniforms to Star Uniforms, bailiff uniforms to Star Uniforms, fuel oil to Stiff Oil, inmate uniforms and supplies to Bob Baker, janitorial supplies to WB Mason, PA Paper and Supply, Central Poly Bag, Pyramid School Products, Brighter Days and Nights, and Staples Contract and Commercial LLC. Again, in janitorial supplies, it went to PA Paper and Supply, WB Mason, Central Poly Bag, Pyramid School Products, Brighter Days and Nights, and Staples Contract and Commercial. Then we have office supplies to WB Mason, toner to IPS Global, propane was awarded to Heller Gas, snow removal was awarded to Strausser's Nature's Helpers for the admin center, the former jail lot in public safety, and add the following vendors to the county list of approved vendors for the district attorney, Microtrace LLC, Divine Depositions, and Dawn Till Dusk, Emergency Management, Cherry Industrial, Public Defender, Orlando Lopez and Rivera, and Commissioners, AMZ Logistics, LLC. Is there a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Number 6, Conservation District. Reappoint the following Conservation District board members and authorize submittal of the nominations to the State Conservation Commission for concurrence. Donna Falk, Farmer Director for a new term expiring 12/31/2029. Jason Smith, a Farmer Director with a new term to expire 12/31/2029. And Sharon S. Lavador, Commissioner Representative for a term ending on 12/31/2026. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
please.
Okay.
Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. Fiscal and grants. Ratify approval of the submission of the fiscal year 2024 HAP HSDF non-block report in the amount of the following: HAP $66,028 and HSDF $93,507 for a total of $159,535. Approve the CSBG 2025 funds for subrecipients reallocation. Safe Monroe is giving back $18,219, and the Stroud Regional Space and Open Space and Rec Commission is returning $2,000. Shepherd's Maternity goes to $1,640. Pleasant Valley Ecumenical, $2,250. Pocono Area Transitional Housing, $7,466. Pocono Services for Families and Children, $8,563 for $20,219. And the approve the 2025 fiscal year budget for fund for $850, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, or TFAP, $97,790, an Emergency Solutions Grant. There's no award at this time, and the Victims of Crime Act, or VOCA, $118,102, or $285,892. Indeed, we have approved the allocation of the Emergency Services Food Program TFAB funds received by Monroe County to go to the following food pantries: $2,000 to Christian Awareness Ecumenical, Bushkill Outreach, $3,000, Pocono Mountain Ecumenical Hungry Ministry, $5,000, Pleasant Valley Ecumenical, $5,000, Top of the Mountain Ecumenical, $5,000, and the Salvation Army Pantry, $5,000, for a total of $25,000. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. Information Technology, approved professional service proposal by Michael Baker International in the amount of $25,000 for GIS services for the period of 11/5/2025 through 11/4/2026. Is there a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to table.
Is there a second?
We have discussion first.
Yeah, but second it for discussion.
It can die for one.
Okay, I'll second that.
Right. That's to discuss the table.
Now we have discussion.
Go ahead, David.
Well, no, I appreciate the chief assessor's remarks, and I received her message. It might have been yesterday or the day before. And I think it's reasonable to request a meeting to discuss everything. I think my short time here, one of the things we could do better in is communication. And I think having that discussion, making sure everybody understands what we're doing and seeing how they can contribute. We may arrive at the same decision ultimately, but I think it's good to do that. I'm not sure if there's an urgency to this. If it's not approved today, can we not do it? I mean, I know in the past we've ratified, then we just ratified hundreds of thousands of dollars in expenses. So if it's needed to be done soon, we could even schedule a meeting today, have that meeting, have those discussions, find out what the concerns are and move forward from there. So I think it's a reasonable request and something we should do.
Sharon?
I respect very much our employee Deb with her concerns. But I also know that we need to work with Avenue, who is subcontracted through us. And there is a difference there. We need to be making sure that there is communication from subcontractors to our employees. And I don't know that that's always happening. So I don't know the whole process, but if we possibly, I respect the fact that you folks have traveled to get here, perhaps. Is that correct? Yeah.
Oh, no, I live here.
Oh, good.
Yes,
All right.
I work for another county.
Okay, well, that makes me feel a little better about this whole thing. We can have our discussion. We can work through some of the issues and table it until maybe we should set a date. So we have a plan.
Yeah, but our next meeting,
Okay,
I don't think we call it special meeting, but
well, that's fine. We can table it. I do have to say that we are behind the eight ball in this, and I'm just raising that flag that we would have to address this at the next meeting, because there are numerous functions that have to happen behind the scenes to make this go because we are 2 versions behind and we have to catch up.
Shouldn't planning be part of this whole meeting also as well?
Well, that's part of the thing is that what we have is that we have a group, the GIS group that was formed of users. What this does is, and why I say is that if we approve the $25,000, all we're doing is approving the contract for $25,000. This is a cafeteria style contract. The planning group from GIS can then say, this is what we need. But what we're doing is we're kind of delaying for 2 weeks for the IT people to decide what they need to have done, because there's server upgrades, there's other things that have to happen behind the scenes before any of the directions that have to happen for the users can move forward. We were supposed to upgrade this back in 2023. It didn't happen, and we're behind in our upgrades. Is there any comments?
I have a comment.
Please.
Go first, please. The current version we're on is 10.6. Our 911 center, who is a user of our data, is on version 11, which they were required to move to. This is my understanding after having a discussion with the 911 center. I don't mean to speak on their behalf, but they can't actually use our data currently. Now, assessment has coordinated a one-step upgrade to version 10.9, which will get us to the point where our data will be ready for the 911 center. The next step is for us to go to version 11.x, whichever version is agreed upon. But in order for us to get there, we have a tremendous amount of data we have to have converted. We also have to build a brand new server. We want to make sure we're doing that properly. That requires us to add servers to our virtual environment. We just added a new host for our virtual environment, so it's a whole brand new installation of multiple servers. We want to make sure we're doing it properly. We have to get that upgraded in 6 months because we're hoping to have the upgrade to version 11 by June, right? So 6-7 months, right?
Yeah.
So in order for all that to happen and to have all the departments get each of their pieces ready, we need the professional services. So I did put money in the budget this year for professional services for situations such as this. It wasn't specifically for this, but the money is in this year's budget to cover this. I mean, I realize that potentially could move to next year's, but.
Right. In other words, this $25,000 can be covered out of your budget from this year
Right,
Like we could have,
without having to ask for it to go into your next year's budget.
correct.
we could have a meeting within 2 weeks, a special meeting. We could call a special meeting.
Yeah, we don't need to, we can just ratify the expense. We could say,
But I mean,
go ahead, and then we
I
ratify.
agree with what you're saying, but that means that we're locking ourselves into not postponing it. We could still have that meeting and get it organized and get information out there. I'm concerned that understanding this whole thing, that planning's not here and emergency services aren't here. And I think they're 2 very important areas. that need
I think
input.
and I'm just going to say this, and we can table it or whatever. I think you're losing sight in the fact that we don't have to spend the money. Okay? All we're doing is, like I said, it's cafeteria style. Granted, the only question that I think that would be discussed here is whether Michael Baker is the correct contract to have. And I think Patricia has stated that, with the background of Michael Baker, that they are the best entity for us to go with.
I also spoke with Esri, our current account manager at Esri, who's worked closely with the person at Michael Baker. So they would both be involved in the committee meetings with the GIS committee so that everyone is on the same page. including Esri, Michael Baker, and all the departments that use the system.
Planning, let me read what planning says right here. Planning needs this contract. That's what was just posted online.
Thank you. Deb?
Again, our only request is for a meeting to discuss all of these things amongst all of us when we're all in the same room. They are not saying we don't need to upgrade. We certainly do. We are not saying that we shouldn't go with Michael Baker. We're saying, let's talk about it. We have several contracts that we are vendors that we currently use, that we have a long running history with. We don't know how this new contract affects that work. We don't know how this new contract affects what's in the GIS budget that we asked for 2026. Again, our request is very simple. Let's get everybody who is involved in the same room and have a discussion about what the right way to move forward is. There's no argument that we have to go to 11. We need to go there. Currently, everybody's able to do what they can do. They can utilize those pros and all those different things. They're able to utilize them. I think some of the problem is maybe the training isn't there that should be there for utilizing those things, but certainly no argument that we have to do it, just how to get there.
That's actually not true. Planning cannot currently do all the functions they need to do with the system as it is right now. And we need Michael Baker's help to get us to the place where we need to be to get planning the access they need to do their jobs currently. Christine?
Yeah, nothing else.
Okay. Call the vote, please. All in favor to table?
Aye.
I'm struggling right now. I will say yes, but this meeting has to occur immediately.
Very good. I am a nay. Motion carries. Where the heck were we?
Number 9,
Yeah.
motion to reappoint the following to the board with a new term.
Monroe County Hospital Authority, reappoint the following board members for a new term of 2/1 to 2030. Sharon Lavador and Robert Westlow. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
Second? I'll second.
Yeah.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Pretrial services, authorize John D. Christie sign the bank account change form with third-party company Govolutions due to routing change numbers with ESSA Bank and CNB Bank. Is there a motion, please?
So moved.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. Pocono Mountain Regional Airport, approve the county matching contribution to the amount of $296,330, a 5% match totaling $148,166.50, and $148,166.50 of the county contribution for agreement number C for building number 2, construction total project cost of $3 million. B, appoint and reappoint the following to the board: Dave Moyer, reappointment, term ending 1/1 of 2030. John Carrick, reappointing a new term of 1/1/2030. George Strunk, reappoint to a new term expiring 1/1/2030. And Sean Crawford, reappoint, term expires 1/1/2031. What did I mess up, Cindy?
2031 on your copy, or do you have an incorrect?
2031. I
Okay.
just did it incorrectly. I'm sorry. And I'd like to acknowledge the end of service on the board of Carl Weiler. Carl Weiler has been a driving force in that airport for years and years and has shown the benefits and needs for a municipal airport up in Mount Pocono, and we thank him for his service.
May I add something?
Of course you can.
I don't know that our community and the public people in Monroe County realize how important the Pocono Mountains Regional Airport is. The number of visitors, the number of people who fly in and fly out of there, it's not a huge airport. I mean, it accommodates all those different folks that are coming to Monroe County, and all the services, they help create services that we give to our community. So I just think it's really important.
Motion to approve number 11 is written.
Second.
That is said. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Capital outlay purchases, approve the capital purchase report dated 11/5 of 2025 totaling $16,368.10. Emergency management, panels and canopy shelter for shipping containers, and the courts, $5,599 in the courts for office furniture, and labor, $2,035 for a total of $7,634. And courts again for 2 portable radios, $7,627. And for Raza grants for 2 heavy-duty chairs, so Eric can sit down over there, $1,107.08 for a total of $16,368.10. Your motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries. Computer capital purchases, approve the computer capital purchase report date of 11/5/2025 totaling $96,278.88. The correctional facility for a tower for camera use for $1,198.51. Department of Information Services, 62 county computer refresh devices for $74,190.40. 2 switches and accessories for $11,935.38. The correctional facility for a document scanner of $1,028.99. And program expenses out of the register and recorder for 8 Dell computers of $7,925.60 for a total of $96,278.88.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Miscellaneous, Mr. Parker?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to thank the 24th Connecticut Militia Regiment for coming down this past weekend, and Pocono Township as well for hosting them for reenactment on Saturday. And also thank Danny Younger for giving a presentation. The public really enjoyed both presentations and the reenactment. They were very complimentary of the individuals providing the information and the authentic garments and weapons and all the knowledge that the people had. And I must say too, that the reenactment group was complimentary of our citizens, of how curious they were, and they had great questions about, the Revolutionary period and the things that they were showing. And then they also marched in the Veterans Day Parade, which thank you to the veterans, Monroe County Veterans Association for putting that together and honoring our veterans this past weekend. And they made the theme of the parade America 250, which was nice to help get that message out. I did want to make a announcement of save the date of sorts for January 18th. That's the Sunday of Martin Luther King weekend. America 250 PA will be coming to our county on that day for a kickoff. They're traveling the state over a 2-week period to hit all 67 counties. And that will be our time to have a celebration, hopefully in Courthouse Square, weather permitting, just in the early afternoon. We're hardy folks up here. A month from that, we're going to have our ice festival. So we certainly can do fun things outside in the winter. So hope to see you all there.
Sharon?
The only thing I wanted to just appreciate everything that David just said and just thank all the people that participated in the Veterans Day Parade. Schools, community organizations, bands from ESU, and the bands from East Stroudsburg School District. I mean, it's really pull everybody together. Have that celebration was very, very nice. Thank you all. It helped.
I'd like to thank the 40,265 Monroe County residents that came out to vote yesterday. We had a 34.8% voter turnout. I would like to thank Penny Robson and Sarah May Silphy for a job well done on the election. And I would like to thank everybody who also participated and all the department heads that gave up people so that we could process the ballots yesterday. Congratulations to the winners, and we thank everybody who dips their toe in the water of public service. Thank you. Is there any public comment? Yes, ma'am,
Some public comment.
please. Would you like to stand up, state your name,
Yes, please.
and you get 3 minutes? Yes, right at the podium. Don't let like Penn State Extension think they have all the time.
My name is Joyce Onstead. We have reliable reason to believe that one or more people who are employees of the courts are providing ICE with advance information about foreign residents moving through the court system. Sometimes they've even targeted citizens from Puerto Rico, who we all know are Americans. We should understand that the citizens are Americans. I'd like to know if there's any way that you can assist us in mitigating this. That's one comment. I'd also like to know if there's been any follow-up on the AOPC letter, which is an Administrative Office of the Court letter that was sent out earlier this year with respect to local agencies and offices cooperating with ICE. And I did submit an FOIA request earlier this week about that. And finally, we'd like to see the commissioners adopt a non-discrimination ordinance with respect to all employee conduct, parenthetically, especially the court system. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody have any comments? Please.
I second everything that she said.
Sure. Sometimes there's a line of demarcation between court employees. They're county employees, but they're under the auspices of the courts. Okay, they have the ability to hire, fire, and so on. So if you have any information, then I would recommend that you contact the court administrator, Corey Doherty. Okay,
Okay.
I can give you her information. Okay, is there anything else?
Separate public comment.
Please, Mr. Deemer. He's looking at his phone, so he's got words prepared.
I do. I am Eric Deemer. I'm speaking today on behalf of Go Collaborative and as the event coordinator for the tree lighting. First and foremost, I want to thank the commissioners for approving the event. The annual downtown Stroudsburg tree lighting is free to attend and set to be held on Black Friday, November 28th from 5:30 to 7:30 in Courthouse Square. Festivities include a 10-piece brass and percussion band, words from elected officials and the Monroe County Poet Laureate, photos with the Grinch and beloved winter princesses. And if all goes well at the North Pole, we'll have a visit from Santa himself at 6 p.m. Keeping with tradition, the countdown for the tree lighting will be held at 6:30. Event goers are encouraged to eat and shop in downtown Stroudsburg before and after the event, and to please return Saturday to support our local stores for Shop Small Business Saturday. There is free metered parking in Stroudsburg Borough from Thanksgiving to Sunday, November 30th. And for public safety, North 7th Street, Monroe Street between 6th and 7th, as well as Courthouse Square will be closed to traffic from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. on the event day to ensure public safety. Thank you.
Guess you get to go home early.
Thank you.
Access is closed.
There's something online.
Callie, do you have anything online?
There was a comment from Christine, but.
Very good. Is there anything else? Oh, please.
Hello, I'm Lauren Butler. It's just supplemental to what Joyce said. I don't know what the county's plan is or policy when it comes to cooperating with ICE or not. But I, as a taxpayer, is very nervous about lawsuits in the future. So I hope that we can get some clarity on that. The second is on GIS. I have no knowledge of different types of contracts, what the best decision would be. But knowing that certain departments are still on ArcMap, that's sort of the equivalent of like the horse and buggy of the program. And Esri is going to be discontinuing support. So if there are any issues with projects that use that app, you won't be able to go to them for assistance anymore, and you will be at the mercy of whatever someone wants to charge you to fix it. So I do recommend what you had said, making this an immediate meeting since it has been pushed off a while. Thank you.
Thank you. There's nothing else. Is there a motion to adjourn? We are then. Thank you. Penn State hockey's still doing well, okay? I have switched my allegiance to the hockey team.